Welcome everyone to the 2019 California State University Sacramento Doctorate in Educational Leadership Hooding Ceremony. All right. The genesis of this ceremony is that tomorrow you all are going to be at Golden One, right? And you are going to be there with 3,000 other graduates. So we wanted to provide a very special moment, a very special time for the graduates and their families, and that's why we have this hooding event before the chaos tomorrow that is the College of Education graduation. You will of course see your graduates, your family members, your friends graduate tomorrow. On the stage, you'll hear their very long dissertation titles read, but this is a very intimate setting. We even have country music going in the background. I don't know if anybody out there can kill that country music. So I'm Julian Vasquez-Heilig. I'm the director of the Doctorate in Educational Leadership. This is my 5th year as director, and we are experiencing incredible success. This is the largest class of doctoral graduates our program has ever had. Give them a hand, please. And I suspect with all the hard work of the graduate students and the faculty, that will continue to set records as we go along through the years. So let me tell you a little bit about the schedule of activities. First, we're going to start with an introduction from the Dean of the College of Education, Sasha Sidorkin. Then what we'll do is we'll have the graduates come up, and there's a blue X here. You'll go down like just a little bit like this, a little lower if it's Rose Barunda because she's not as tall. And then they'll put the hood over your head as appropriate, shake hands, take pictures. Then the faculty will be sitting here. The faculty member will sit back down after the pictures, and then the students have 1 minute, 1 minute to talk about what this moment means to them, means to their family. Now, I know when I told you that after you got a doctorate that you could only talk for 20 minutes at a time, but really, only 1 minute, okay? And so they'll talk for 1 minute, and then we'll go to the next, I'll introduce the next student, and then we'll go all the way through. And then faculty, I have something special for you. In past years, I gave out awards, but this year, Tina wanted to mix it up, and whatever Tina tells me to do, I do that. And so this year, we're going to have the faculty say a little bit about their experience with their students and about that journey, okay? So you get the faculty perspective on working with your partner, with your cousin, with your friend, with your son, with your daughter on this really rigorous and difficult journey. Okay, so you get a little bit, and faculty, that's about 2 minutes. Okay, 2 minutes. Okay, because if we don't, the food's going to get cold, and we don't want all that to happen. So, oh, and yes, there is a reception afterwards, which Tina is
Epicure Restaurant.
Epicure Restaurant. So, afterwards, we'll announce it again at the end. But after the event is done, we have a nice spread to celebrate. That's why we had to limit the tickets, because the fire marshal only allows a certain number of people in the Epicure Restaurant. So after the ceremony, we will have hors d'oeuvres, hors d'oeuvres. How do you say that? Hors d'oeuvres. Right. We'll have that down the way. Okay. All right. So without further ado, I think we all. Any questions, graduates? No. Yes. One question? No. No questions. Okay. Good. So without further ado, we'll get started with the dean.
Start with thanking the family members, the partners, spouses of the graduates for supporting them. And please keep in mind, just because they got to own a funny hat and robe doesn't make them any smarter in things other than educational, research education policy, education. So don't let them boss you around. So, and if they behave badly, tell them, yes, doctor, and that should take care of it. So, and I also want to kind of continue the same line with the graduates. Congratulations today, tomorrow, the big days in your lives. With this big achievements that you're demonstrating today also comes big responsibility and all right. See, okay, now I sound even more authoritative, right? So the responsibility has to do with humility. The more you know, the more educated you are, the more you should be willing to say, I don't know. Let me give you an example. You know, in the latest PISA scores in 2015, the average across all the countries that do it went down. In some countries, very significantly, like in Finland, I think 1.5 standard deviation or something like that. A couple of countries went up, but the average went down. Do you know why that is? Nobody does. Nobody has any idea why that's happening. And if you look at education, it's mystery upon mystery upon mystery. We really don't know much about how that works. So I want you to always ask you to please remember that. So when you don't know something, don't try to make it up. You know, just say, I don't know. I have a doctorate in education, but I don't know. Trust me, it's a better strategy than actual, trying to be pompous and pretend that you can give answers. So what we actually in the business of is asking more difficult, more interesting questions, more than in the business of actually answering them. And now people get really annoyed. I don't know if you've noticed, but no educational researcher has ever been invited, say, to Congress for public hearings or anything. Because we don't give like a snappy, easier answers to people. We say, well, it's complicated. That's what we always do. And that annoys the hell out of people. We'll just say, well, we don't exactly know because we're being honest. And if you read just headlines written by journalists, they know the answer. Eating apples will increase the standardized testing scores or something like that. So our role is not to be kind of smart Alex and have an answer, but just to provide what we really know and disclose what we don't know. So congratulations, and I also want to thank the faculty who are here today, who came, who did a lot of work with you. The work of sort of faculty in the doctoral program is difficult. It's still a handcrafted kind of one-to-one. We build you one by hand. There is no mass production of doctors. You kind of have to work on everybody individually. So they do that. That's very difficult, very long work, sometimes disappointing, sometimes hopeful. One minute you think, oh, these people are brilliant, and then the next day you think, my God, where did we get all this people? So it's hard, it's an individual discovery, so you change. If you haven't changed your opinion while you're in this program, we probably wasted your time. You have to change it at least once or twice. So if you've written the same dissertation that we were thinking you would be writing, we probably wasted our time too. I'm sure you changed some of that, the titles and everything. So I want to thank faculty for doing this sometimes inglorious, difficult, slow, frustrating work, and sticking with you. I think they deserve the round of applause as well. With all that, congratulations. Welcome to the club. There is a sort of a global community of scholars who have a doctorate degree. There's a certain ethics that comes with it. Like if I get an email from somebody from, I don't know, in Myanmar who is doing education research, I don't know that person. I feel an obligation to answer because we belong to this little, it's actually a very small cohort of people that do this work. So welcome. We'd like to have you among us. Congratulations. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, so while the faculty are making their way up here to sit right behind me, if the faculty could come forward, please. I'll tell you a little joke. I'm not going to say the name of this particular student to protect the innocent, but I get the opportunity to interview every single student that applies to this program. And I was having a conversation with one of the applicants, and the applicant said to me, he said, you know, I came to the info session. How many of you came to the info sessions that I've done? Okay, so almost all of you. And the student said to me, Julian, you said at the info session that if I did this doctoral degree that I would be a different person. So I went home to my wife and I said to her, I said, look, you have to let me do this doctoral program because I know you don't like me right now, but in 3 years you will. True story. So the first new doctorate that we are going to mint for 2019 is Matthew Kronzer. And unfortunately, his dissertation chair, Dr. Sujin Jez, lives in the San Francisco Bay Area, and there was some sort of accident on the 80, and she was not able to get through traffic. So Dr. Rob Wasmer is going to hood Matthew Kronzer, and then he will have the opportunity in the next minute to discuss and show his appreciation for this journey.
I feel fortunate to go first, so I don't have to be nervous about how that would go. I want to thank you all for attending tonight and getting through that traffic and the brief rain that we're having. And I want to send a shout out to my family and thank you for all the support that you've given me. I feel like I honestly had a head start across everyone because you never doubted what I could do. And you just said whatever I wanted to do, that's what I'm going to do. And thank you for my cohort, amazing scholars. Working with you was an honor and a gift. It's been a fun experience. I enjoyed all of it. There were only brief moments of frustration. I'm really happy to be here. And thank you to all the faculty who trusted me and supported me and helped me do what I wanted to do. Thank you.
Here, let me use you as a model real quick, Matthew. So I want to just quickly tell you, here, come back. Two quick things. One, I had the pleasure of writing an article with Matthew while he was here in a law review, the Journal of Law of Education and Equality, so I enjoyed that. I want to use you as a model because tomorrow you're going to see a lot of these robes. And some of you might be thinking, what exactly am I looking at? Now, I'm not going to go through the whole story about the monks and them being cold and needing robes, and you'll hear that tomorrow at graduation. But the light blue represents our field. So where you see the light blue, you know that it's a graduate of education. Like if you're public policy, the color is a more blue peacock. So each field has a different color. So that's why you see the light blue. And then if you could turn, then you see here on his sash, you see the actual colors of the institution. So of course, Sac State is green and gold. And so that's why you see that. And then, thank you, Matthew, very much. And then you see, of course, see that each of the different faculty members have their different robes. We have 2 UC robes down there. We have matching Stanford robes, Michigan State. And Rose, you were Riverside? University of San Francisco. So you'll see many different colors tomorrow, and so the lining color is the field, and then the other colors are the color of that particular institution. Okay, great. So the next student to doctorate is Fred Evangelist. He was chaired by Dr. Alexander Gonzalez, President Emeritus of California State University, Sacramento. Without further ado, Frank Evangelist.
Fred. Well, I want to thank
all of you, and especially Dr. Gonzalez and my teachers that spent hours with me and put up with my questions. And I came in a little unprepared because this is not my main field, and it was a learning process. So thank you for spending the time with me. And I'd like to thank my wife, Molly. I really appreciate her putting up with me. She didn't get to travel other than with her friends. And then my rest of my family, Ishmael and Gay and Craig and Maria, they're not blood family, but they're close to me, and I feel as if it's family. And my real family couldn't be here tonight. My mom, my grandma and grandpa, and Les, because they're no longer with us, but I know that they would support me and be proud of this. So, and thank you all for all your support and putting up with my questions.
So of all the cohort members, Fred came to visit me maybe 10 or 15 times before enrolling in the program. So Fred and I are good pals. So let's bring up Susie. Susie Jolison. And Susie Jolison will be hooded by Dr. Rob Wasmer.
This, for me, means quite a bit. It's a lot of changes in my life, a lot of new beginnings. This is particularly one that will take me on to what I'd like to see as changes in public education so that public education maintains and is successful for our students across California. My sister is here from Colorado, and my mom is here. My children all flew up from Southern California trying to get me to move down there. And I have a daughter coming in from Florida tomorrow. So I would like to thank Dr. Romero and Dr. Wasmer and Dr. Loesa, who is not here. They've been really strong mentors for me, and it's been an important journey, and my cohort has been very supportive. And thank you.
And her partner in crime, Thomas Herman. She will be hooded, he will be hooded. Sorry, I'm dropping the ball here. By Dr. Rob Wasmer.
Oh my goodness, what a milestone. How many minutes do I have? Did you say? One. I know, it's only one. I want to thank my family, my brother Dan, visiting from Southern California, my brother Jim, visiting from Southern California, his wife Pam, and my little niece, and my sister from Colorado, Kathy from Colorado, and Alexa from Southern California. This means a lot to our family. We've, let's just call us a blue-collar family, and so this is quite a milestone, and they've been telling me how proud they are of me, and I so appreciate that. I want to thank also Dr. Wasmer for your time with me. It's just been fantastic. I have learned so much. Dr. Romero, thank you so much also.
If the students want to shake the hands of all the professors up front, you can do that. I know everybody's nervous. Okay. Now I get the pleasure of hooding and introducing my two students. We had a lot of fun together, didn't we? Yeah? I read a lot of... One of these dissertations was 400 pages, so we'll start with Karen Bridges.
I would just like to thank everyone who came with me on my travels, my family, my cohorts, and especially Dr. Heilig and Dr. Adamson. I mean, it's really been a very long journey for me. And I just want to say that getting this doctorate, it completes a dream that my mother had, that all of her students have a doctorate. So I completed her dream.
Okay. Now for Iqbal Nurdi.
Hi. I would like to thank my family, my children, and my sister, special sister.
Okay. Take your time.
For making a dream come true, especially for my deceased father. I want to thank my cohort for their support. I want to thank my faculty for their support. Thank you all.
I asked Dr. Barunda, after she read Iqbal's dissertation, which was 400 pages, if she was ready to fully retire. Great job, Iqbal, great job. True story. Now this man, perseverance, if there's one word that I could think of for him. Adan. He'll be hooded by Dr. Rose Garuda. Hey,
Thank you, everyone. I'm a little nervous, but in a minute won't do all the thanks I have to do. I really thank this cohort for accepting me as your, cohort member. From the first day, you guys offered me support and help and encouragement. Dr. Romero, I do thank you a lot. Your encouragement, I know that, you have to be very patient with me. I saw you multiple times in those classes, and every time you saw me, you encouraged me, so thank you. Now I'm gonna say it in Spanish for, my family that came from far away. Papá, mamá, gracias. Hay una historia, actually, que Dr. Barunda escribió, donde hay una plática, cuando me salí de high school, right? Yeah. Que hablaste con el principal y le dijiste que tendría que continuar. muchas gracias por eso. So what I said is, there's a story that was written by Dr. Barunda, a conversation I had with my dad, on the table when I dropped out of high school, that he was working in the fields, and all he knew was, you need to continue, just graduate high school, and then that's it. That's all we want from you. So now I'm here. I'm getting my doctorate degree, so muchas gracias. My wife, my kids, Adancito, Chuy, Jesus, Miguel, Selene, thank you.
I could tell so many stories about each of these students. I enjoyed going out to Amy's art classroom out in Roseville last year. So proud to see you graduate, Amy Murray.
Thank you so much. This has been such an incredible journey. And we were just talking about, in the car on the way here, how lucky, I just feel so fortunate that I have been able to be on this journey with you, to be able to be on this journey with you. It's just been so wonderful. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. I love you, Mom. Thank you. And thank you, Aunt Nancy and Uncle Jay and Larry. Thank you. It's so special to me. It's so special to have my family. This hat just doesn't fit. It's my big head. I don't know. But anyway, thank you so much to my cohort group. It's been such a wonderful experience. And I promise I will keep it short. And to Dr. Barunda, you are so amazing. Thank you so much. And Dr. Romero, thank you so much. And really, each and every one of you, Dr. Heilig, the fact that you came out to Roseville to visit my school, thank you so much. I mean, each of you has influenced my thinking, my learning, my growth as a person, and I am just very grateful. So, thank you.
I really don't want to mess this up, but if I do, you can slap me on the way by. Okay. Shin Chong? Did I get it even close? What? Zhang Song.
Well, I didn't know I was going to be doing a 1-minute speech, so I don't have anything prepared. But I just want to thank Dr. Barunda. She's been awesome this year, just helping me through everything. So I thank you, Dr. Barunda. And also I want to thank my family. My family's not here, but I kind of did this for my parents. My parents have always wanted a doctorate in the family. And so I did this for my parents, and I really do, I'm thankful for them. They really encouraged me and supported me along the way. Thank you to my husband who's here, and thank you to my cohort members. You guys have been nothing but supportive. Thank you.
Congratulations, Dr. Song. Dr. Nazir. She will also be hooded by Dr. Rose Barunda.
I'd like to thank my family, especially my husband, Chicky, who's here. Thank you so much for your support, your motivation, especially your patience throughout these 3 years. We couldn't have done it without you. I'd also like to thank the faculty, especially Dr. Barunda, for your encouragement, your support, your expertise throughout these 3 years, especially during the dissertation process. Thank you so much. And to my cohort members, thank you so much. It was a wonderful journey, and I'm honored to know each of you.
Dr. Selma Nazir. Zishan, it's your turn. He'll be hooded by Dr. Lisa Romero, his dissertation chair.
Yes, Baba's here.
Wow, I don't know if I can do this. First of all, I want to thank all my teachers, all my professors. Thank you so much. Especially Dr. Romero. Without you, I wouldn't have been here. Thank you so much. Also wanted to thank Sac State. Coming to Sac State, or coming to US 12 years ago, just having a high school diploma, and getting my bachelor's, getting my master's, and now getting my doctorate from Sac State. Thank you, Sac State. Also wanted to thank my father, my father-in-law, my mother. They flew from Pakistan this week just to celebrate this moment. And thank you for all your hardship, everything that you have done for me. Thank you so much. And also wanted to thank my cohort member. Every one of you have helped me along this journey. Thank you. And I want to say a few words in Urdu so my mom and my family can understand. प्यारे में अबू और अंकल और मेरी बीवी मारिया, मैं आप सबका शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहता हूँ कि आपने जो कुछ मेरे लिए किया। आप लोगों ने बहुत मुशक्क़त मदद झेली यहाँ तक मुझे लाने में। मैं आपका बहुत शुक्रिया अदा करता हूँ। And I wanted to thank my wife. Without her, I wouldn't have done it. When I started this program, my son was 1 month old, and my wife made huge sacrifices, and I miss those moments, celebrating those moments with my son, with my wife. I want to thank you, Maria. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
Dr. Zishan, are you? So just a quick commercial break. Now I'm going to start crying. I have the 3 award winners right here. These are for the top dissertations in K-12, the top dissertation in higher education, and our outstanding graduate. And each of these will be announced at the reception afterwards. Chandler.
Thank you so much. So in California, my family is largely in this room. These are my colleagues, the people who've been here for me from the start. So just a thought. We hear through years and through disciplines, trust the system. Trust the system. And even in this program, trust the process. Well, I'm going to suggest that if any one of us ever trusted the system, we never would have started this program to begin with. So from tomorrow on, do better, be better, and cause a little trouble. You guys are awesome. Congratulations.
Cohort 9, represent. Only 2 left before I hand over the mic to the faculty for a few thoughts. Now, I'm going to tell a story. I don't know if Teresa has told this story. Have you told this story, Teresa? No. Okay. So I bebop around the United States doing different things, research, lectures, boards, etc. And I was just sitting in the airport one day, minding my own business, and I don't even think the faculty know this story. Minding my own business. And the Southwest manager was talking with one of the passengers, and the manager was escalating the situation with the passenger. So I stood up and I said to the manager, I said, "Your behavior is inappropriate. I've been watching this whole situation, and you aren't treating this passenger, this customer, appropriately. And I'm going to file a complaint if you don't get this right. Because I've been watching your interaction with this person, and I forgot about it. It's just one of those things where you got to stand up and say something. You always wonder if you're going to do it when it happens. So I did, and then I didn't think much else about it. I caught my flight, went on, flew to wherever I was flying to. Well, Teresa tells me years later, she said, "I was that person that you stood up for at the airport." And I had never made that connection. I was just trying to do what was right that day. But now Teresa is receiving her doctorate, and I know she's going to stand up for kids. Teresa.
Thank God. Thank you, everyone. This has really been a journey for me. It's really been an exciting one. I was able to fulfill all of my dreams that I've had over the years. I'm very fortunate to have had parents that were really big on education. They didn't have the opportunity, but they instilled on me the importance of it. And being a first-generation person, a senior citizen, finally getting her doctorate, I mean, it's just amazing to be in this space. Now I can continue my work teaching financial literacy to young people. I want to thank my family, my daughter, Essence, and Mylan, and my grandkids, Elon and Isom, because over the last 3 years, I mean, every party, every birthday, whatever, I was always there for them, but I've been kind of slacking, but they told me that they understood. And it's really nice when your grandkids tell you, Granny, you can do it, and we're proud of you. So I just feel so fortunate. And I also wanted to thank my committee members who aren't here today for all of their help getting me, especially Dr. Navarez. And I also want to thank Dr. Romero for putting up with me. Every time I got frustrated, I would always go and complain to her. She was so sweet. In fact, all of the faculty were really sweet. And last of all, I want to thank my cohort. You really made a difference for me in the program. Thank you very much.
Okay, I told you a lie. I told you a lie because I'm going to announce one of the awards before we leave here tonight. We're going to announce the outstanding graduate here, and then we're going to announce the dissertation award winners at the reception. Someone just whispered something to me, and so that's what we're gonna go that route. Okay, last but not least, I call him Harvard Pete Bonetti. He's being hooded by Dr. Lisa Romero.
All right, thank you so much. This accomplishment could not have been made possible, first and foremost, from my fellow cohort members. And it is really a sign of my great appreciation for all your support and guidance. And that really extends just to the greater cohort as well, to members from cohort going back to cohort 1 all the way up to cohort 8 and 9. I'm so glad that you've been here, support me from the start. And I also wanted to extend the great appreciation to the EDD office staff, to both Christy and Susie and Tina. Really appreciate all your support, and also want to extend great thanks to the faculty here. I can't say how much I appreciated AERA in San Antonio with Dr. Vasquez Heilig and Dr. Frank Adamson. That was wonderful. Communication class was that was an incredible experience. Thank you, Dr. Gonzalez, Dr. Wasmer, policy. Great appreciation, Dr. Baruna, for everything. I think we go back to, I think I was part of the hiring committee in 1998 for Center of Human Services when you were an instructor for us. So it's wonderful to make this full circle. And especially Dr. Romero, thank you so much for being here, and great appreciation for that. Thank you.
Now we have 10 minutes for thoughts from the faculty. I will start with Dr. Rose Barunda.
Just a few words. I was very privileged to have 3 incredible women whose I chaired. And it was, I remember with each one of them saying, what question do you have that only you can ask this question? And you're only going to do this once. Most of us only survive this once, right? And each one of them took it to the max, and with care to the intention of solving social justice issues and giving voice to people who maybe don't have an outlet. So that when you read their dissertations, you were brought in to understand that they're shedding light in areas that are dark and that we need to pay attention to. So it was quite a year working with the three of them who never said, really, do I need to do that? But more of like, and how can I make it better? And what do I need to do to really make this the best work that I'm only going to do this one time? And so what I love about chairing doctoral dissertations and serving on the committees that I do is that you get this top brain power, and you get to learn, and they get to do all the work. And you get to learn from it. And so I feel very blessed that you asked me to serve as your chair, and for those of you with whom I served on your committees, to expand my understanding of what's happening in our world today, and your very spiritual intentions to make the world a better place. And thank you for that honor.
Dr. Rob Wassman.
Hi, everybody. Hi, students. Remember me from your second class? Can you believe that 2 students chose me as their advisor, their primary advisor? And then a second chose Sujit, Jazz, and me as their advisors. Some of you in the audience, significant others or children may have heard my name cursed in the second semester. I'm an economist by training, and I teach in the public policy department here. So the result that I'm in this whole education doctorate is because of a partnership between the College of Education and public policy when the program first began. I was actually on the steering committee that put it all together. So it's very rewarding for me to come in and teach the second course in public policy to students. Teach them some economics, teach them this Bardic CAM analysis, 8 steps that you still probably remember. I hope that's one thing that you take away. And I was very fortunate to have 2 students as primary advisees, both Susie and Tom. Both work in the Department of Education, both are practitioners. They came to me with some ideas in regard to what they wanted to do. I took those ideas, I learned from them, they were great ideas, but you know me, right, everybody here, I pushed them a little bit further, right? I said, well, we can do a little bit more quantitative work with this. How about even doing a different statistics program than what you're used to? Let's learn stat, right? So they jumped in, they did that, and I thank you much for doing that. I hope you learned something, and I learned a lot also from you, so that was great. And Matt, the same way. Matt, I knew was very capable, so both Sujit and I and Jez and I pushed him in a strong direction. Perhaps me even further on the outside. But he responded and he produced a great dissertation. So thank you and congratulations, and hope you remember some of the economics and the public policy that I taught you.
I'm pretty sure you use Bardic Cameron analysis as a bedtime story for your children? No? Okay. Our newest, newliest minted professor, Dr. Frank Henson.
Hi, everyone. I am the new guy on the block, and I want to say that I didn't have an opportunity to intersect with most of you, but I did get to sit on 2 dissertation committees this year. And I really appreciated the depth of work that went into those dissertations. And, when I got my PhD at Stanford, I remember distinctly somebody saying that really doctors are made, and actually our dean referred to that earlier. And I watched you make yourself. And so I encourage you to own the expertise that you gained this year when you worked as hard as you did. And when I'm sitting in those committee meetings and I'm sitting watching the final product, I'm learning, right? At a certain point, I'm not asking things of you, I'm learning from you. And so that's what you've achieved this year, and take that into the world. Congratulations.
We are extraordinarily lucky and fortunate to have the President Emeritus of this institution on our educational leadership faculty. He has been an important confidant for myself. I've always been able to bounce ideas off of him and things that come up, and he's been an incredible addition to our faculty. Dr. Alexander Gonzalez.
I'm going to move to this side so I don't cover anybody up. Let me start first by thanking the cohort. I want to thank you because what you did for me is probably a lot more than what I did for you. After being the president of this university for 12 years and president at San Marcos for 6 years before that, and provost, 24 years in a high-powered higher education position, I came back to my roots with you guys, and you made that re-entry just really delightful. It was great. My wife and I were enjoying it, and we were going to go to Spain right after the class, and you even got me a bottle of wine. So for that, I thank you. But it was just a wonderful experience to go back into the faculty and work with students at that level. Now, I want to say a couple words about Fred. He thought he was going to get away with it, but no. I think Fred is probably one of the most hardworking students that I ever worked with. And luckily for him and me, I had a lot of time. I'm retired, and Fred told me the other day, he said, I have a file on my computer with all the emails that we went back and forth. I think he's going to have to get some more memory from Apple or the cloud or whatever. It was a real pleasure working with Fred and having him go through that process, like every one of you did, is really, I think the achievement that you've shown and your ability really speaks to the program, the faculty, and the fact that everybody's so very focused. Fred, you have a lot of energy. I really like working with you. Once you got it, you really got it. And I said, the joy, the happiness that Fred felt when he finished, at Molly, I hope I can quote you, when he finished his defending, and Dr. Barunda, thank you. Molly said, yep, he finished. He turned, it was his birthday, and he was eligible for Medicare, all at the same time. So congratulations, Fred.
And last but not least, Dr. Lisa Romero.
I'll follow the president's lead and stand over here so I don't mess up the photos, because I know this is really about the students and not about us, even though we like putting on our fancy robes once a year. Cohort, I am so proud of you guys, and it means a lot to me to be here with you guys. I've probably tortured you for more classes than anyone else, and it's been a really beautiful thing because I've really got to see you all grow. And it's just been a really nice thing for me. So congratulations, everybody. And then I want to say a few things about people. Dr. Navarez isn't here, so luckily I get to talk a little bit about Teresa and what did you call him, Frank?
Frank.
Oh no, you called Fred. Yeah. Anyway, Pete.
Good job, Frank.
So, Teresa, I have enjoyed having you as a student since the very beginning. I love that your grandchildren are here. For me, when I was going through my doctorate, my grandmother was my biggest ally and cheerleader, so it's special to see you here with your grandchildren. And I want to say Teresa was such a serious student all the way through. Every class she would come where she had read and she had her notes, and I was always so impressed. And it really showed because she was a student who whizzed through the qualifying exams, just did really fantastic. And Pete, it's also been a pleasure to have Pete. He's a serious guy, comes to all the talks that we have, takes everything really seriously. And I've also got to see Pete grow a lot too. And one of my favorite Pete things that he's probably gonna hate, but was Pete's a really competent guy in every single class, so I loved seeing his face turn white in statistics. Mostly because I thought it was good for him. And he did really well. So I'm now turning to my two that are here and a third that'll be here tomorrow. First, Chandler. Chandler, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you for digging and sticking, and I knew you could do it. And Chandler has a really beautiful dissertation where she looks at student engagement and the role that it plays in behavior and discipline, and how there's better things we can do than just throwing kids out of class. And Zishan, it's been such a pleasure to work for you. Work for you, yeah. to work with you. And Zishan did a study of school climate, and to do that he had to learn structural equation modeling, which is no easy lift. And he did not take a class. We don't offer a class in that. So I sort of gave him the basics of it and then was like, here, read this. Now read this. Now read this. And he always rose to the challenge. But congratulations to everyone in the cohort. I really have enjoyed working with all of you and sitting on many of your committees. And I think I talked too long, but congratulations.
Quite frankly, I think we have the best educational leadership faculty in California. I think maybe the only place that can compete with us is USC. But I really think that if you look at the accomplishments, you look at the commitment, and you look at the worldwide fame of each of these folks, you really do have the best educational leadership faculty in this state. And I think that's shown by the fact that our cohorts are growing, our applications are growing, our selectivity is growing, and at the same time, we're raising our graduation rates. And that's really a credit to the hard work of these faculty. That's really a credit to the hard work that you all have put in. And so I need to say just a couple quick things about my students. And I'm going to talk about one moment from each of those students that will always stick in my mind. And I will say this, I'm going to announce the award winner right after this recognition. So first, I'll start with Iqbal Nuruddin. So she completed a study that has never been completed before. She studied Arab refugee students and school discipline and restorative justice. We searched high and low in the research literature, and we did not find any prior studies. So this is a brand new area. So the dissertation committee sat down and we thought about how could she explore this? It was a blank canvas. Myself and Dr. Adamson and Dr. Barunda were all here, and so we came up with a bunch of really good ideas, thinking that some of those ideas would not yield fruit, which is pretty typical in a dissertation. Sometimes you go down some pathways and you don't find anything. Well, Iqbal accomplished 3 dissertations in one. And she came to me and said, Dr. Heilig, I wrote 3 dissertations, not one. And so 400 pages later, I told her she really has the material for a book on this topic, and she did so wonderful, and I'm so proud of her. And just like I'll say to Karen, my mentorship of you, our interactions as colleagues, is a lifetime commitment. I will be here for at least another 50 or 60 years. Karen, we had a great time. You know that the LCAP is one of my babies. It's one of the things that I've been working on since 2012. And we know so little about how the LCAP is impacting African American students. And you, as an expert educator who has a long history in our nation's public schools, and a University of Michigan grad, so I kind of, I'm a Michigan grad myself, so I kind of had a soft spot for that. You told me one time, Dr. Heilig, do you have faith in me? And I said, of course I have faith in you. I have faith that you're going to go out and do spectacular things for the children of this state and the children of this nation. I make the same commitment to you. This is a lifetime relationship. Congratulations to the two of you. So if the faculty could please stand. I know that Dr. Rose Barunda is very proud of this graduate with distinction. Dr. Zong, congratulations. This is our most prestigious award. This is the award for our top graduate. Congratulations. So if all the graduates can come up here for a final picture with your faculty, this is the end. Come on up, come on up. Where's Tina? Is she here? I'm giving out the other 2 awards at the reception, correct? Is that correct? Yes. Okay, move down, move down.
Probably the taller people in the back and if anybody else can come forward. Yeah. So we can find everybody.
Move in, move in, move in. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Move in.
Yeah. Give yourself room. Yeah, give yourself plenty of room. Excellent. Okay, let's see. Everybody, 1, 2, 3. Let me check that. Okay.